Hey, hi, hello everyone! So, guess what? I started my YouTube channel exactly 1 year ago today. I have since posted over 150 videos, and as of recording this, I am sitting at 1,269 subscribers. And in the spirit of my channel being mostly inspired by stuff from like 2013, I thought I'd celebrate with a Draw My Life video. So sit back and relax and let me yap for like 10 minutes, I don't know. I was born in the good old year 2000 and nothing. The turn of the century. Too young to know the 90s, and too old now to be considered young. I come from a big family on both my parents' sides. In total, I have over 10 aunts and uncles, and over 15 first cousins, and so many second and third cousins, and like babies I've never met, and just, I feel like I'm related to like half of Tasmania at this point. I don't even know. Anyway, when I was born, my sister was 5 years old. She thought it was pretty cool to have a sister, I think. And my parents thought it was pretty cool to have 2 kids, I think. I was born in Canberra, which is the forgotten butthole of Australia. Honestly, it's actually pretty nice. I moved back there for a semester when I studied acting, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We lived there for 2 years until we moved to Tasmania. I only really have one memory of Canberra, and that is when I got to see Play School live. Highlight of my toddler life, obviously. The house I grew up in Tassie, was the coolest place. We lived on a farm of 90 acres. We basically owned like the entire hill. I mean, my driveway was 500 meters long, and we even had a cave in the side of a hill that my sister and I would play in. The house was absolutely huge and completely run down. My parents got it for super cheap because it was a piece of shit and it was like 25 years ago, but my friends always thought I was rich because it had like 5 bedrooms and super tall ceilings. But ants used to fall out of the ceiling and the bathroom had carpet in it. It wasn't a very fancy house. I went to the local primary school for 5 years and I thought I was a pretty cool kid. Though the school only had 150 students from kinder to grade 10, so there wasn't a whole lot of competition. Had this awesome teacher named Miss Smith, and she set the groundwork for my interest in writing and acting. We used to write stories in class, and she'd type them up and print them out for us to illustrate and share. She was really encouraging and honestly just the best teacher I ever had. When I was 10, my parents moved me to a city school. It was much bigger, much further away, and not a super great time. I struggled to fit in and started being bullied a lot by my classmates. I never understood why until I was diagnosed autistic at 23. Makes a lot of sense now. So I hobbled through primary school with increased depression and social issues. But one thing that helped me a lot was writing. When I was 12, I wrote my first book in heavy quotations. It was 20,000 words and it was inspired by imaginary games I used to play with my old best friend. My parents' friend helped me put it on Amazon. It was really cool as a kid, but it's slightly embarrassing as an adult now because it's technically still available in some places. I like to think my writing has improved since then, hopefully. The other thing that helped me a lot was discovering YouTube. I mean, I knew YouTube from the beginning, from Charlie the Unicorn to Salad Fingers, I was there. But when I was about 12, I found gaming Let's Plays, and it was like finding the friend I really needed. I used to sneak my phone from the kitchen bench where I was supposed to leave it overnight and stay up late watching FinchBeeps Minecraft videos. I got really into Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, and Rhett and Link as a teenager as well. Then high school came, and, that's a shit place for anyone, really. I went to a public all-girls school with over 1,000 students from grade 7 to 10. It was just such a far cry from the little country school where I felt I belonged. Honestly, I don't remember much of high school. It was a bad time, but I started seeing a therapist around then. Eventually I came out as queer, and I found a nice small friend group. They didn't last, but, they were good people. Then I hit college. In Tasmania, college is year 11 and 12 and is much less structured than high school, and you don't have to wear a uniform, which is just super fun. College was a much more pleasant place, and I got to choose the classes that I wanted to do. I mostly did English and drama, though I dabbled in photography and psychology as well. At the end of my year 11, I came down with a really bad stomachache. My mum picked me up from my girlfriend at the time's house to take me home, and I fainted with my eyes open in the backseat of the car. It was pretty freaky. We pulled over, and I threw up everywhere, and my side started hurting really bad. So my mum took me to the hospital, and they told me they were pretty sure I had appendicitis and would need emergency surgery. I don't remember feeling very scared, like I knew they'd look after me, but when I was all better, my sister told me she was afraid I was going to die. We thought our family was cursed for a couple years. For 3 years straight, someone close to us had died in September, and then I had to get emergency surgery in September, so I guess I freaked everyone out a little bit. But I was okay. Kind of. When I came out of surgery, I was told my appendix was slightly inflamed, so they removed it as a precaution, but my pain was more likely from a ruptured ovarian cyst that had bled into my pelvis and could have been super dangerous. While I was recovering from surgery, I got really sick. Nobody knew why, and I never got any answers, but I couldn't eat for weeks. I was just throwing up all the time. I lost so much weight, and I felt really awful for months. Eventually, I went back to normal, I guess. I don't know. It was a weird time, and I developed a pretty rough relationship with my body. I've always had just sort of wonky health. From about 14, I developed chronic back pain, which then developed into hip pain, which developed into a lifelong quest for answers and explanations. My current answer is that most of my issues are probably caused by hypermobility. When I left school, I struggled to work. My feet would cripple me even in like a short retail shift, and I struggled to walk back to the bus to get home. I tried office work too, but my back pain would flare up sitting for so long, and I could never work more than minimal part-time hours. Right before COVID, I broke up with my longtime girlfriend and decided to make some decisions about my life. I wanted to be an actor. I loved theatre all through school, but film and screen was what I wanted to explore. Good old Tassie being Tassie, there was no way you could study screen acting specifically, so I moved back to Canberra and I lived with my aunt for a semester while I studied an intense acting program. That program was the first time in my adult life that I felt like I belonged. I made friends, like real friends that I connected with and laughed with and wanted to spend time with, and it was amazing. I loved filming scenes and deconstructing them, and we got to put on this really cool play at the end of the year for our final assessment. It was so cool. But as all good things do, it ended and it became just a blip in my life. It was just, a really wonderful, happy blip. After I'd finished my acting program, I moved to Queensland for a couple years in an attempt to pursue acting professionally. It was uneventful, really. In 2 years, I got 2 jobs, and they were both extra roles in TV, which was incredibly fun and super rewarding, but very minimal. I had difficulties living with roommates, trouble making enough money to support myself, and just overall struggled a lot. It was around then I got my preliminary autism assessment, and while I still felt out of place, at least I sort of understood a little bit more. When my sister told me she was pregnant, I decided to move back home to my parents' house. That was nearly 3 years ago now. Now I have a nephew, and he's a fireball of energy, and I love him so much. I tried to work again, and I failed again. I can't seem to function in a typical workplace, and although it's really hard financially sometimes, I love what I am able to do. Creative work, meaningful work for me, even if it's in tiny amounts so I can put myself first and rest when I need to. I still struggle with my pain. It's especially frustrating when I can't do the work I want to do. I can't sit at my computer for more than an hour without lying down. I can't stay awake for more than 12 hours most days, but I'm trying my best. And my sister supports me in ways that help me so much, and I'm just trying to find ways to gain independence however I can. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel from the moment I discovered the platform. When I was a kid, I used to narrate my own gameplay as if I was recording it because I thought it was really fun. I just hadn't done it yet because I had so much social anxiety of filming while other people were in the house. I brainstormed ways I could start a channel and feel confident filming, and I settled on the idea of buying a gutted caravan and turning it into a studio. I kind of did it. My first few months of videos were all filmed in the van, and it was such a cornerstone of my channel and helped me build my confidence. When I was lucky enough to be invited to join Minecraft, I made the commitment to myself that I could film in the house with other people home, because I needed access to my desktop computer and proper internet, which the caravan just couldn't provide me. I went from 150 subscribers to over 1,000 in less than 2 weeks, and it was just like the craziest time, and joining Minecraft just completely changed my attitude and my life. Now I film all of my videos in my bedroom, and while I still struggle with anxiety, it's a lot more comfortable. I actually sold the caravan to my sister, and she's currently doing it up into a functional van for camping, so that's pretty cool. And now it's 2026, and I've been doing this for a year, and I hope I will continue doing it for many years to come. YouTube is my safe place, and the fact that I've found an audience and a community that is so kind and patient with me in just a year is just amazing. I have so much gratitude for all of you, I could just never fully explain it all. So, what's next? I don't know, more stuff, more games, more me. I have a lot of personal goals, like moving out on my own, making enough money to support myself, travel a bit, and I don't know, become a movie star. That's on the back burner a bit, but I'm working on writing some of my own short films, so that should be fun. I love that I can just be myself on this channel and let the waves roll. Whatever happens will happen, and I'm just happy some of you are along for the ride. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!